All right. So what we're trying to do today is have a little bit of a dialogue with the folks that are assembled here to just chew over a few ideas about what we can do bigger, better, faster for Vidtrans 2025. Now, we have the dates set, we have the venue set, so we can't really entertain any discussion about that. 2026 may be a new venue, but 2025 we have a signed contract and we're committed to go back to the Marina Del Rey Marriott, which I personally find to be a very nice place to go in February, but it is, it is getting a little bit pricey, and we have to take elevators up and down stairs, all that good stuff. So, we'll take a look at it. Now, one of the things that I thought after last year when we rearranged the exhibit area is that we're going to stay with that. We're going to try to open it up, try to make it more interactive. So just wanted to go through 4 quick slides here. So now I've made a change to this. I heard what you guys were talking about at the board meeting, but we had the theme connecting the cloud for live production and then information security. So I thought if we flip that around a little bit, so board members, please pay attention. How about connecting the cloud for live production and secure transmission? It flows a little bit better. It has the 2 topics kind of aligned a little bit more. But anyhow, just run that by you. If you have violent objection to it, let me know. If you like it, let me know. Let's talk it through. It's not my decision. We want to make it a group decision. So, people like it? Yes, Rick.
At least my interpretation, what I was pushing in the board meeting. Cloud is fine, but I think we need to put the IPsec front and center. It's a hot topic right now. We need to sell it as IPsec.
We need to sell it as IPsec is what Rick says. Okay, hold on. I see Cyril.
Yeah, the way you have it written is secure transmission. If one can read it, it thinks it's just for the cloud.
You think that's just for the cloud? Yeah. Okay, go ahead, Andy.
Sorry, I'm just going to elevate again. I don't think we're going to reach a consensus in this session now. So
no, I understand, but let's get a little feed. Yeah.
I think it's probably worth asking people to send their thoughts in rather than.
Well, a little brainstorming wouldn't hurt, But if anybody else has any suggestions, comments.
I think secure transmission. We're talking more than just transmission. So I think. I would word the security differently there.
Okay.
Yeah, so I would play around with it to actually make the security seem a more holistic element.
How about connecting the cloud for secure live production and transmission?
How about securing the cloud?
Or securing the cloud there. Okay, I like that. Okay, Brad?
Yeah, so one of the things thank you. One of the talking about no, it's not. One of the things the board's been talking about is dynamic virtual production. And one of the items that Mike Bainey was highlighting, it's difficult, is security around that, which we're going to hear. So I think this just needs a little bit, like Annie was saying, just a little bit of refinement around that. Because it's not just about cloud, it can be on-prem, off-prem as participating in those virtual dynamic facilities. Thank you.
Virtual dynamic, you're making my heart go pitter-patter. Rick?
Like I said,
you'll hear from Felix shortly.
People read things in order. So once they see cloud, they start trailing off if they're not interested.
Okay.
That's why the beginning of the header needs to be information security. And then you can put stuff afterwards. But what you connect with is what comes first in the title.
Okay, so Rick, what you're saying is what you connect with what comes first. The problem that I have is that if we put InfoSec or IPsec or anything about security,
I spoke when I said IPsec.
you're gonna You're going to lose a lot more. You're going to lose a lot of the audience there, right?
No, you're not.
Eh,
No.
okay.
It is the hot topic.
The hot topic. Okay, we're done. And this is all captured for posterity. So, okay. So, there's also been a lot of desire to enhance some end user attendance. So here's some of the ideas that we're kicking around. If anybody has any other great ideas, we'd love to hear from you. If you think any of these ideas are really terrible, let me know or let us know. Free exhibition passes, some limited availability of those. A discount user badge category. So if you're an end user, you can get a very economical rate to do this. Provide marketing support materials to exhibitors and members. This is one of the things that we've not done a good job of in the past, is leveraging all the bright minds and companies that we have in this room here. And I think if we can do a little bit better on that in terms of getting some good material that people can use, maybe with the new VSF logo. Shh, is that I supposed to say that? And maybe some, pointers on how to reach out to different people. I think that would be very good thing to do. Additional demonstrations in the exhibition hall. So I think that'd be a great thing. It's something that we, can't force to happen, but we need some volunteers to go out there and talk about what they want to do in terms of demos. We have plenty of room in the exhibition hall, and we can work on the schedule for that. And we're also talking about coordinating with Simpson Hollywood, the Video Streaming Alliance, the Content Delivery and Security Association, the Women in Technology Hollywood chapter. If anybody else wants to add to that list, we could definitely entertain that as well. Any comments on this? Yes, Sean.
Of course, I get a call.
Me too.
Pardon me. What kind of internet connectivity do we have there for like high-speed streaming, if there were to be?
Let's see. The guy to ask on that, and I hate to put you on the spot, is Cyril, but Cyril really knows what kind of internet connectivity we have there.
That's very simple. 100 meg. We over the years, pretty much every Vidtrans we had a wrist demo, and we sent multiple streams. That's what I've seen before. By and large, 100 meg symmetrical is what the hotel can give you.
I'm not talking in the exhibit hall. I'm talking about better performance in the conference for presentations, because some of that could be enhanced.
In the conference, that I don't know. I never tried to do anything there. But downstairs, we easily get a wired connection, and 100 megs what we got, and it's been sufficient. I mean, everything we do in RIS is compressed anyway, so it's more than enough.
Okay, so hold on. You know the answer? Okay.
So what you get is if you're in the hotel, your connectivity up in the ballroom is the same thing as what you've paid for in the room, which your basic is only about 5.
That's wireless too.
Wireless.
Yes.
If you pay for the enhanced, which I think is about 20, you get.
No, yeah, Rick, what we're talking about is a wired 100 megabit connection like we get in the exhibition room, whether we can get that upstairs or not. To be honest, we might actually just do that in the exhibit hall and have people come down there. Because if you wait just a minute, we're going to talk about some other things we might be doing in the exhibition area for next year. John Mayotte.
So your first point, there's some limited number of free exhibition passes that we can give to end customers.
Yes.
Super helpful.
Okay.
Pretty hard to convince an end customer to cough up $600 or $700 to come to a conference that they haven't necessarily heard of.
We agree. Andy.
So I think anything that enhances our end user attendance is absolutely welcome. That's principle number 1. Principle number 2, the diversity. And one thing that we've seen in the UK very effective in recent times, specifically in Simpson, is a real focus on students and attracting them. So actually trying to get some young some youngsters in. So I like the women in technology element there as well. But
yeah, my concern about bringing a lot of youngsters in, I'm not sure how attractive that will be to potential exhibitors. I mean, I think it's good for the society and good for things like that, but you know,
they are our future.
they are, but we're talking, they need to be okay. I don't disagree with you, but here's what I've seen. I've been involved with a lot of SMPTE activities here in New York where we've really tried to push hard on the student side of thing. And while the students are in school, they come, and then as soon as they're done, you don't see them again. And I don't know why that is. Maybe we're doing a terrible job here, but it's hard. It's really hard to get the young, professionals in. Yeah, go ahead.
I really agree with John on the first point. I think not only getting customers to come in is very valuable, but also even for us, having seen the capacity of the audience and the people coming in small down a little bit over the years, it's been hard for us to even justify coming to LA for the VSF event for Vidtrans. Agree on diversity as well. Women in technology has been doing a lot of traction in the past couple of years. I would also mention the video dev community. There's been a lot of meetups. There's one on Thursday night as well in New York. They have different chapters. There's one in Portland as well. I believe there's most likely at least 2 or 3 in California that you could collaborate with.
Could you put us in touch with those people?
Sure.
Okay, that'd be great.
They're mostly on Slack, but yes.
Yeah, that'd be great. And by the way, don't get me wrong. I'm not at all against diversity. I women in technology, any other concepts that we can have to have a broader audience is great. My concern is, it's just I'm struggling to see how Vidtrans is a good venue for students, to be honest. That maybe grad students, maybe, I don't know, but.
Hey, Wes?
Yes.
So, historically you used to manage the vendor exhibit hall at HPA, which is always on adjacent dates. Is there any way for us to have an alliance with that so that,
Well, we're going to be on the adjacent dates, we should actually add HPA to that list.
Yeah, well, it's just people can use it to justify travel from the coast.
Yep.
Number one.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. Good idea, Sean.
I know in the past, Wes, when you've offered like training classes, that sometimes drives people. Sometimes it's easier to justify the cost to go to training than it is to go to a conference.
Yeah, so if anybody wants to give a training class, that's great. I'm done.
We're an IP.
Matter of fact, maybe you want to pass the mic to Felix for a minute.
Okay.
On that.
Felix?
Yes, on the very topic of training, we're discussing of organizing an hands-on training for NMOS. That may be very interesting for end user in particular, because the idea is really to demystify what is NMOS, what's happening on the wire, looking at Wireshark, looking at REST API, how it works. So I think we discussed that the previous day before the event. We could have an afternoon hands-on. That would be interesting. Yeah.
I think that would be a good topic, Felix.
You got me sold. Absolutely. That's the major pain point. The only other thing you could do is a hands-on PTP, but I think NMOS is probably even better. That sounds really good. And okay, excellent idea. Okay, how to improve the Vidtrans experience for attendees. So we're going to be talking about information security. We're going to build it into the theme more. We're talking about. We would like to have the ability for exhibitors to give short technology demos. Probably we have to work on the calendar, but do it in the exhibit hall, not on a separate track. We want to have people coming down there and then, 5 to 10 minute technology demos of real stuff that's working, I think will be attractive to the attendees and be really beneficial for the exhibitors who want to do that. So, and then more so to get these two concepts thoroughly locked into your mind. Exhibitor technology demos, those would be a single company exhibiting a single technology. The technology demos, like we have the wrist interops, the, let's see, what else we've done? IPMX interops, all those other things. Those are multi-party things. And if we can have more of those, cloud-oriented, whatever, in the exhibition hall, that would be good as well. But those would be ongoing things. And then one idea, again, the 2-for-1 passes, bring someone who's never attended before. Oops. Bring someone who's never attended before. Maybe you get, you could, if you're buying a member, if you're buying an attendee, you can bring one. Again, we're going to lose some attendee revenues here, but I think in the long run, we'll build a bigger audience and things will go better. And then finally, improving the VidTrans experience for exhibitors. So one of the ideas that we've been kicking around is some breakfast roundtables. For those of you who have been to HPA, those are really, really popular. We set them up, literally round tables where you have speakers assigned, or hosts, if you will, for each one of the tables to sort of guide a discussion and have things to talk about. Some people call these birds of a feather stuff. I think that's what. So I think that, to me, it sounds really exciting. I know they're extremely popular at HPA. And those would be something that you would get as, as a benefit of being an exhibitor. You would be able to host a breakfast roundtable at least on one day. The short exhibitor technology presentations, I think those will be beneficial both for the audience and for exhibitors. I've gotten a lot of complaints over the years about things being really quiet in the exhibit hall while the exhibition is going on. The conference sessions are going on. So we need to, tweak our schedule a little bit and maybe look at eliminating some of the overlap there. And then again, some free passes for significant exhibitor guests, end users and things like that. So anybody else have any ideas? You can speak now, or you can get in touch with myself or Tina or anybody else. We'll serve as a conduit. We're not the decision makers. We're not going to give the final word on what is and is not going to happen. But we've got to put together our information real quick because we got to get a website up. We've got to get information out there, and yeah. So we have not yet scheduled the exhibitor booth selection call, but I would like to get that done before the end of October. So we'll look at our calendars, get things done. It might be on Halloween. That'd be fun. But and you don't have to come in costume. So anyhow, any other comments, questions, ideas, suggestions? Okay, Sarah, here.
Okay, the free passes for significant exhibitor guests is something that I think is really powerful. I mean, there's many of us have many customers in the LA area. You wouldn't bring necessarily someone from out of town, but if we can give out some passes for the whole conference, right? For the talks as well, I think we can get. I'm sure Cobalt can get a few people there that wouldn't otherwise come if it's free. The demos over the years is just as my observation based on the risk demo, which I normally run in the Cobalt booth. I stopped having anything at the Cobalt booth. It's just a place to sit and give literature because there's the other demo over there, and it wasn't interesting to even do anything in there. So that we need to fix. This idea of technology demos is good, but there has to be well-defined a schedule and time for people to get there. So that needs to be well understood, but that can be made to work. Now, this reduced boot session overlap, this is a fact. I mean, people are in the session, nobody's down there. And that's just how it is. So I don't know how to fix that, but
So the problem is that it's hard to have a quiet, private meeting if you're an exhibitor with somebody during, if it's not during the session time. But yeah, I think we either need to reduce it or eliminate it entirely. So, okay. Any other feedback? Yes.
On the interop front, would it make sense to try and expand on what Thomas did with AWS for the Amazon Prime stuff, or the interop, TR07 interop on JPEG access?
Sure. Give us a proposal.
Yeah, Thomas,
All rolling.
make it happen. No. Yes, John. I know I'm going off camera here.
Thanks. I would just say on the breakfast roundtables or something relative to that, we did on Tier 01, we had sort of a review of that and a republish of that document several years in. I think the last revision of that was in 2018. It might be good to have a breakfast roundtable or another session on Tier 07, Tier 08, because it's been a couple of, 3-4 years since they were done. So that might actually be good to collect feedback from the industry. And, that could also be something we lead in with a topic area for VidTrans.
Hey, John, while you've got the mic, you want to say something about the codec report?
Yeah, I just want to mention this because I worked on the codec group with Andre, that we're going to publish the document and it'll be on the VSF website. Some of the discussion that came up in that meeting, if you go to the document and look at the tables, it's going to make a lot more sense than, just trying to present the information, because it seems sort of unrelated when you talk about it. When you look at how we categorized it and put tables in the document, it does make sense. And Brad, you're going to publish this very shortly, right?
Yeah, like any day now.
Yeah.
So when I get back to Atlanta, I will get that published. So